Welcome to the Missouri Business Podcast. The show is chock full of insight on what it's like to start, stop, and drive a thriving business in our great state. Each episode, we'll dive into the mind of a Show Me State business owner so you can avoid their mistakes and glean their expertise for your gain. Now, here's your host, John Piazza Norton.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Missouri Business Podcast. Again, this is host John Piazza Norton, and today I've got with me Jeff Rippey. Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing well, John. Thanks.
Jeff is with the Jeff Rippey Acupuncture. So let's start with the who question. Why are you qualified to help your customers, and a little background about yourself?
My name is Jeff Rippey. I grew up in St. Joe. So I went to Central High School, graduated from there, got my undergrad at MU, and then worked corporate for a long time, mostly in healthcare. Worked for a while at Cerner, worked for a while for United Health Group. And then I decided to get onto the provider side of things, and I went to acupuncture school. So I got my master's degree in Denver, and I just finished my doctorate from a school out in San Diego.
Yeah, so I like those parts. Let's talk about the China part.
Oh, okay.
That to me is pretty intriguing.
Yeah, I did a 2-year program that was out of Beijing. It gets complicated when you do overseas schooling like that because those credits can sometimes be very difficult to transfer. Ultimately, I wasn't able to get those credits to transfer back into the U.S., which was the whole reason that I ended up going out to Denver and doing the master's degree there.
Understood. But I mean, the experience alone is probably
that. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the what. What is it that you actually do, and for whom? Who does it make more sense for, and who's the ideal customer for you?
There's really only 4 times that you would not think of acupuncture. So if you have a severe acute infection, bacterial viral infection, that's not me. You need antibiotics for that. If you have experienced a severe trauma, if you've been stabbed, shot, hit by a bus, there's very little that I'm going to do for you on that. That's an ER. I am not a cure for cancer. There are lots of good studies that show that acupuncture and Chinese medicine can help support someone so that they can complete rounds of chemotherapy. And again, a lot of the chemo induces joint pain. So we're back into the pain management space.
Right.
But Chinese medicine is not a cure for cancer. And my policy is I won't take a cancer patient unless you're seeing an oncologist and they know that you're coming to see me.
Gotcha.
And then the last one, it's kind of a goofy edge case, but sometimes people get into pain because of joint deterioration or like a structural issue. And really what they're looking at is some sort of a surgical correction. I can help you manage the pain while you're waiting to get in to have the surgery done. But if your joint is that far gone, then it's that far gone, and surgery is probably the right answer.
Like a replacement type of thing.
Yeah. So like if you've been to 5 orthopedic docs and they've all told you, look, you're looking at a hip replacement, you're probably looking at a hip replacement. I'm not going to magically fix that. But for everything else, I've worked with things all the way from, depression, anxiety, PTSD, pain, Parkinson's, MS. I've helped people recover after strokes and heart attacks. And I mean, the list goes on. There's literally hundreds of things that you could use acupuncture for.
Now, let's talk about the when. How long have you been in business? When did you take the plunge and going towards acupuncture versus just being a general practitioner, things like that? And how long did you have that idea before that?
So I've been in and around Chinese medicine, studying and practicing for probably 20 years.
Okay.
I did an apprenticeship, and that started in about 2000. But it was a very unstructured apprenticeship because at the time it was really just more of an interest. I wasn't planning on pursuing it as a vocation.
Gotcha.
And then towards the end of that apprenticeship was when I decided, it comes from China. Let's see what the Chinese have to say about it. Right.
Makes sense.
And then when I came back and couldn't transfer those credits, by that time I was pretty well sold on this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing the school in Denver, and then by the time I got done with it takes a master's degree to get a practice license, but
Right.
I figured in for a penny, in for a pound, let's go ahead and finish the doctorate.
Sure.
Right. So I went ahead and did that. I've been practicing in St. Joe. Let's see. I started there in December of 2018.
Okay.
I finished my apprenticeship in 2012. 2 years in the Beijing program, so that puts us at 2014. I started working on my master's degree in 15, and I graduated at the end of 16.
Okay. Well, it's nice to have somebody somebody local instead of having to go so far away just to get that kind of level of expertise. That's very cool. Tell us where it is, because it's Jeff Rippey Acupuncture, then it's Reveal, and you're like, I don't know really where I'm going. Let's help people out there.
Exactly. So my business is Jeff Rippey Acupuncture, but I practice inside of Reveal Wellness and Med Spa. We're on Frederick Acupuncture, but I practice inside of Reveal Wellness and Med Spa. We're on Frederick Avenue in that East Ridge Village, kind of across the street from East Hills Mall.
Right.
Probably the easiest way to find us is to turn in at Perkins, and then you got Kristen's Coin and Jewelry on one end of that strip mall and Going Postal on the other end, and we're about exactly halfway between those 2 points.
Very nice. All right, let's talk about the why. Why you chose to, we talked about what you did and how you got the credentials. What really made you focus on this for you?
I tried it. So I had it must have been 2003, 2004. I was working for Cerner. I was doing some overseas traveling, and I was spending a month in Australia and doing like a Cerner sales kind of a thing. And on the flight down to Australia, I pulled a muscle in my back.
Yeah.
And I spent the whole month in Australia basically in pain. And I figured it'll straighten itself out when I get home and I get back into my bed and I'm back into my regular surroundings. 2-3 weeks after I got home, it was still there. And I've been in and around healthcare my entire life. I worked as a pharmacy technician, worked at Cerner.
Okay.
And from that perspective, I knew what the answer was, right? They're going to give me pain pills and a muscle relaxer and send me home.
Right.
And I had a friend who was an acupuncturist, and he said, well, why don't you try? Why don't you let me give this a shot? So I went in, saw him. He did acupuncture on me, and within 2 or 3 days, the pain was gone, and it never came back. And I wasn't inclined to step away from that. I wanted to know how that worked.
Okay. Very nice. Well, there's no better way to figure it out than to get it done yourself and be like, hey, you know what, this is pretty cool. Especially the walk-in stuff. I saw that a couple times on your Facebook page. Tell everybody where they can find you on Facebook.
So my Facebook business page is under Jeff Rippey Acupuncture, and so the Friday and Saturday walk-in events I always post there, and then I'll throw out general interest posts from time to time for folks.
And the phone number for you guys.
Phone number for the spa is 816-396-9600.
Perfect. Jeff, I really appreciate you hanging out with us today, sharing some stuff with us. Definitely opened my eyes about a couple things. I'm pretty sure you will have for some other folks. So really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Hey, everybody. This was the Missouri Business Podcast. Again, this is John Piazza Norton, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of the Missouri Business Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, MissouriBusinessPodcast.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher so you get the ding when the next one is out. And if you have a question to pose on the show, just shoot us a comment on the website or like the John Piazza Norton Facebook fan page for direct access. Be sure to tune in next time when we squeeze the brain of another business leader for your benefit. Talk is cheap. I'm from Missouri. You have got to show me. See you next time.